Hello everyone, welcome back. So in today's video, we are going to understand the concept of Webhook from scratch. In that we'll understand what it is, how it is used, and how so many applications are using Webhook widely. After the theory, then we'll move to the actual implementations where we'll create Azure functions, and in that we'll write some small JavaScript function which can accept the request from Webhook. Then we'll register that Webhook in GitHub, and whenever the action runs, then we'll see how the applications or Azure functions can get notified once the action happens. So without wasting any time, let's get started to understand the webhook.
So now let's understand what a webhook actually is. A webhook is a way for one system to send a real-time data to another system whenever a specific event happens. Instead of continuously asking whether something has happened, the system is notified automatically as soon as the event occurs. So let's understand this with some real-world example. So imagine a customer is using an e-commerce application. They find a product they like and decided to purchase it. After clicking buy now, they review the order details, proceed to the payment page, enter the payment detail information such as credit card or UPI details, and finally they click on pay button. At this point, the payment request sent to the payment gateway such as Razorpay. Once the payment is processed successfully, the customer receives a message saying payment successful. But what actually happens behind the scenes? Let's first see how this works before webhook become common. So without a webhook, after sending the payment request, the application has no idea whether the payment has been completed or not. So it keeps sending the request the payment gateway every few seconds, asking, is the payment successful? And if the answer is no, it waits for a few seconds and again asks the same question, that is the payment successful now? Continues asking the same question repeatedly until the payment gateway finally responds with yes. And this process is called polling. The application continuously checks for updates even when nothing has changed. As a result, it generates unnecessary network requests and consume additional resources. So now let's see how the same process works with webhook. A customer completes a payment, and as soon as the payment gateway confirms the transaction is successful, it immediately sends a notification to application. Then the application doesn't have to keep asking each payment successful question to the payment gateway. Instead, the payment gateway proactively informs application that the payment has been completed successfully. This is exactly what a webhook does. It automatically sends a data to another system whenever an event occurs. So let's understand this with one more simple example. Imagine someone visits our house. They press the doorbell and only then we open the door. We don't keep opening the door every few seconds to check whether someone is standing outside or not. The visitor notifies us by pressing the doorbell and we respond immediately after opening the door. A webhook works exactly the same way. When an event occurs such as successful payment or a GitHub push or GitHub action completing, the source system immediately notifies the destination application. Then the application receives the notification, process the event and move to the next step. So this is the basic idea behind a webhook. Don't keep asking if something happened. Don't keep asking if something is happened. Let the other system notify us as soon as it does. That is nothing but the webhook. So now it's time for the practical demonstration. So we have already understood the concept of webhook theoretically. So let's see how it actually works in real world scenario using Azure Function. I have already created a function app inside Azure portal, and inside that I have already created HTTP trigger Azure function where I added some JavaScript code. So let me quickly walk you through the code. So this is the JavaScript code that I have added. So this is the entry point of our Azure function. So every time GitHub sends an HTTP request to the endpoint, Azure automatically executes this function. Here the context is provided by Azure Functions and it is used for logging and sending the response through the incoming HTTP request. Then you can see the next line where the GitHub sends all the webhook information as a JSON payload, and inside the payload the request body is here, and from that we'll sorting this JSON and we'll extract the repository name, branch name, author, and the message if we added while doing the commit, and we'll just log those information, return the message or the status, and we'll return the message that webhook received successfully from this repository. So now let's jump to the GitHub portal, and where we have to create the webhook. So this is the GitHub portal, and I have created this static website repository where I have added some small project, and in that what we'll do inside this src, this app.js will update the heading of this file, and then we'll commit the changes to this repository, and we'll see how the how the webhook can notify or will get the notification from the Azure function. So before that we have to create the webhook. So for that, let's go to the setting, and once we click on this setting, then it will open this window, and here is the option to create the webhook. On the side menu you can see that. So let's simply click on webhooks. So once we click, then it will open this window or right hand panel, and here is the option to create this webhook. So simply click on add webhook button, and once we click, then it will be open this new page, and here we have to add it. Here we have to add this payload URL, the content type, and the secret, and SSL verifications, and all things. Currently we are doing this for demo, so I'll completely disable this setting, and we expecting the content type that is in application JSON. So we'll extract the data. Here we can see that we'll extract the payload, and we'll just use this repository name, branch name, author, and commit message. So now here we have to add this payload URL. So again, go to the Azure portal, and inside the function, here is the option to create this URL. So simply click on get function URL, and once we click, then this get function URL window get open, and we'll simply copy this URL and then add it to this payload URL. Then we'll simply click on add webhook. So now as soon as we click on add webhook, it creates the new or the default webhook or events, and you can see that it sends the push to the function, and once we click on this function, you can see that recent deliveries, and once we click on recent delivery, you can see that it is pinging to this Azure function. So this is the initial change, and once we go to this deliveries, and you will see that these are the headers that we send and the payload to send to these Azure functions, and this owner name and all the details, and this is the our repository URL and everything. And you can see that the response that we receive from this Azure function, that you can see will get the success and the message that webhook received successfully from static website. This is our repository. You can see that we have added or we have written this body, that success message and repository, and here we can see the logs. So then the repository name is static website. The branch, we have not pushed anything on the branch, it is just a ping. So that's why the branch, author, and commit, it is blank. So now again, what we'll do, we'll clear these logs and again go to the GitHub portal, and here what we'll do, we'll go to the code base, and here we'll just update one file. So let's go to the src. Inside this app.js, we'll edit this file, and here we'll just update the paragraph like webhook demo, and we'll simply click on commit changes, and here what we'll do, add the commit message like updated the file for webhook demo, and we'll simply click on commit changes. So as soon as we push the code to this repository, again let's go to the setting, and here inside the webhook you can see the next push, it is getting triggered, and let's go inside this webhook and go to the recent deliveries, and here you can see that the next or the recent push get trigger. We have sent this push in this time, and inside this request you can see that this is the request or the payload that we send, and simply go to the response again, and you can see the response that we sent from the Azure function that is stated that the webhook received successfully from the repository name that is static website. This is our website. So now go to the Azure functions, and here what we'll do, or here we'll see the logs that we have pushed the event, and now the repository name that is static website, the branch we have pushed the code in the main branch. You can see that this is the main branch where we have pushed the app.js changes. So the branch name is this, the author, my name, and then the commit that we added, we have updated the app.js and added this message to understand the updated the file for webhook temp. As soon as we push anything to a GitHub repository, it automatically triggers an event, and that events is immediately sends our application. In our case, the Azure functions, the functions receive the event and respond with confirmation like trigger received successfully. In our case, we return webhook received successfully from the repository name. So in this way, how webhook works in real time. So whenever an event happens in one system, it automatically notifies another system without us needing to continuously check or pull the updates. This is exactly how we can design webhook-based integration in real-world application. As soon as an event occurs, it gets triggers, and the receiving the application immediately knows the status of that event. So that's all about webhook. I hope now you have a clear understanding of what a webhook is and how it works and how it is used in real world application. So if you found this video very helpful, then don't forget to like, share and subscribe to support the channel. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section. I'll be happy to help you. And as I always say, keep learning, happy coding, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, have a great day.